What up, world? Welcome to another episode of Brian Janeau Show. As you know, I am Brian Janeau, and like always on all podcast platforms everywhere, Brian Janeau Show, social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, Brian Janeau, Facebook, The Brian Janeau Show, and of course, TikTok, Brian Janeau Show. Go follow me on all those social media platforms. I would appreciate it if you did. Really, where you go though is the YouTube channel, Brian Janeau Show, YouTube channel. Yes, Brian Janeau Show, YouTube channel. Go follow me. Go subscribe on the YouTube channel. Uh, yeah, subscribe on the YouTube channel, man. I would appreciate it if you did. Like the vids, like the shorts. Haven't really dropped too many shorts this past week. I've been lacking, but hopefully I get back to it this week. Um, this probably will definitely get some shorts, some shorts. So yeah, Brand New Show YouTube channel. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would appreciate it. Let's get into it, man. This is wrestling life. It's not just any old random episode of Brand New Show. It's wrestling life. I told you guys last week I will be back doing this last Saturday after I did WrestlePalooza. I'm here to tell everybody NXT No Mercy was way fucking better than NXT than WWE WrestlePalooza. Holy shit. It made sense. Even the matches that probably I didn't really get too, over the top about, it was still better than what the fuck it was on, WrestlePalooza. Lord have mercy. Um, this shit was better, man. NXT is just a better brand. It's a better brand. You care more. The matches feel like it's actually real matches. It doesn't feel like there's some shit you just throwing on the card because the name is big. They actually have stories that you follow the fuck along with. Like NXT is just better. Main roster wrestling is just so fucking boring right now. Main roster anything. I'm talking about WWE and AEW. It's just fucking boring. It's just no story, no plot, no reason for why the fuck this shit is happening. It just sucks. Holy shit, it sucks. Thank God we have NXT in TNA. Because even Triple A shit. Triple A shit is actually really good. Um, yeah. NXT No Mercy. 2025. This is the Ray Review show. Um, there was, let me see, one, two, three, four, five, six matches on the card tonight for NXT No Mercy. Um, yeah. Uh, NXT No Mercy. Um, six matches. If you don't know, I do my rate review show. I talk about each match. I talk about my least favorite match to my most favorite match. Why do I have them ranked where I have them ranked? And yeah, let's get into it, man. Uh, Starting off the card is my least favorite match, which is Ethan Page versus Tavion Heights for the NXT North American Championship. I gave this 3 stars. Really, it's like 2.5, 3. Um, Even though this does have a story and it was kind of a story, I just think that it's not hitting. Tavion Heights, listen, man, I think Tavion Heights can be something very special in years and years to come. He has that kind of like that Julius Creed, Chad Gable, Kurt Angle feel. He just has to figure out what move set he really has. What is his real, like, what is he as a wrestler? I think you threw him into a rivalry with Ethan Page too soon. I get why you did it because of you threw kind of like Miles Bourne into Oba's Femi match immediately after they broke up from broke off after he broke off from the No Quarter Catch crew. But like you could have done something else with this. I clearly know what you're going with this, and that is that Miles Bourne is the one who's going to take the belt from him. Yeah, I don't understand why you gave Ethan Page this title match. Ethan Page, by the way, I literally have said this since the Oba the JV the J the Javon Evans feud. He is better in the ring, like extremely better. I really do believe that just him and Trick just did not mix. I just feel like that whole rivalry, that whole thing, it just did not mix. It did not work. I think it was just a bad rivalry for him. It was his first rivalry he had. it was just a bad rivalry, man. It was just a really, 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 really bad rivalry. I don't think it really made him better. Ever since the Javon Evans rivalry that he had, that's actually been more of who Ethan Page can really be in wrestling. Excuse me, and he's been better in the ring, like extremely better. I think he actually has the best character in NXT, outside of maybe Obafemi. Like he has the best character in NXT. I think like if you're talking about a year long trajectory of where he's been, he's got the best character. I think he's a heel. He knows he's a heel. He fits the fucking position perfectly. He's great, man. Like I said, man. Like I don't know who takes the. I know who's gonna take the belt from him. It's gonna be Miles Bourne. They're just hung up on this kid. They want him to be the guy. It helps that he's with their women's world champion right now. It definitely helps his situation, his positioning in the company moving forward. That he's with someone like a Stephanie Verker. If you think being in a relationship in WWE doesn't actually help you and move you up another step or two, that's bullshit. Um, they've been teasing the Miles Bourne and Ethan Page rivalry, or Ethan Page trying to help Miles Bourne for some apparent fucking reason. I don't know why he would be listening to Ethan Page if he's a supposed face. I don't know why he would listen to him, but it's all going to turn into Miles Bourne taking a belt from Ethan Page. I don't know if that's a good fucking idea because then it just leads to him and Tavion Heights eventually having a battle. I don't know how long you keep the belt on Ethan Page either. I don't know how long this is going to last. Maybe it's at Halloween Havoc. Him and Miles Bourne has that match, and he takes the belt from him there. You got enough time to build it. I mean, we're about to go into October. The next PLE isn't until October 27th. I mean, you have enough time to build that rivalry. I mean, it's enough time to build it until that situation. I can see it being that, but yeah, the match itself it felt more like an Ethan Page match than it felt like a Tavion Heights showcase match. It was just like, this isn't fitting. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying Tavion Heights can't go in the ring because he can. He could, like I said, he's just got to figure out really what he is as a wrestler. I know you're at like the style that I think he needs to have is more Chad Gable, and it feels like he's trying to do all of this other shit, and it's like, bro, just stick to what you can do. Suplexes, German suplexes. That style never gets old. Well, if you're Brock Lesnar and you're 200 some pounds, yeah, it gets fucking very old. But for somebody that's his size, his athleticism, it would actually work if he did it that way. But yeah, this match was it was like I said, maybe 3.5, maybe 2.5 stars. Really, it was like 2.5 stars. Really, I give it like 2.5 stars. Um, yeah, I really would say it's like 2.5 stars. It wasn't really like a super crazy match. It was decent. It was okay. Um, Also, like I said, like this felt like the most. They're only doing this to lead to the next thing. It wasn't really like Ethan Page was going to lose the belt. It wasn't like he was going to lose it to Tavion Heights. I knew Tuesday when Tavion Heights popped up and put him in a submission and made him tap. He wasn't winning this fucking match. It was kind of like you just threw him in a match and had nothing for him moving forward. It just, yeah, like I said, it's only leading to Ethan Page dropping the belt to Miles Bourne. That's really what the fuck this all was. It was really just a storyline that's going to just lead to Ethan Page losing the belt to Miles Bourne, which is cool. But then you fall into the same dilemma that you're in right now, which is what the fuck do you do after you get the belt on Miles Bourne? Like, what do you do after he gets it? Tavion Heights? I mean, that's kind of the thing. Hopefully, by that time, you will have more people in a better position in the men's division. With now that you have Oba in his situation, Trick is going to drop the TNA title at some point. I'm assuming at Bound for Glory. Yeah, I don't know what you do here. I don't know what happens. I don't know what happens, man. But yeah, this match was 2.5 stars. It wasn't. It's not a match I would go out my way. Except if you really like Ethan Page, then you probably should watch this match. If you really like Ethan Page, but outside of that, this was a nothing match, really. To be honest with you, it just felt like I said. It just leads to what's going to happen probably at Halloween Havoc, which is Miles Bourne and Ethan Page, which he probably beats Ethan Page for the belt there to move Ethan Page up so he go do WWE, go to the main roster. Which I'm cool with that. If Ethan Page is about to go to the main roster, great. Like I said, I don't know what you do after you take the belt off him and give it to Miles Bourne because I'm just not interested in Miles Bourne. I do not care about that kid. He's Baby Arden. He's with Stephanie. I don't care. He's better in the ring. He's gotten better in the ring since the Oba match. I give him that, but he's another one that just I don't know what his style is. What is he? Is he Randy? Is he what is he? I can't get into his matches really. Like he hit the zigzag to win the match against Lexus King this past Tuesday. I was like, okay, so what the fuck is his finisher? I'm like, is that his finisher now? Like what the fuck is his finisher? I don't know what it is. But anyway, yeah, this match was okay, I guess. 2.5 stars. I gave it 3, but it's really like 2.5. Next match. Uh oh, I do have a couple 5 stars. I didn't say this at the beginning, but I do have a couple 5-star matches. I would name one of these matches my match of the night. So yeah. Um, my next match is Sol Ruka versus Laney Reed for the WWE Women's Speed Championship. I gave it 3.5 stars. Now, Laney Reed did not compete in this match. She was injured, so they stay. Excuse me. She was injured. So if that is the case, cool. She was injured. So Ruka still defended her WWE Women's Speed Championship, but she defended against Jada Parker. And I had been asking, I'm like, yo, you really gonna sit there and tell me in Florida, Jada Parker is just not gonna have a match at all on the card? What the fuck are we doing? This match was cool, man. 3.5 stars. I mean, it really couldn't get out the gate. Really, you have to hit big moves out the gate. It's a fucking 5-minute match. Like you have to literally hit the moves. I would rather have seen Jada Parker and Soruka for the North American Women's Title than a Speed Championship. Like I don't think Jada Parker has that quick of a moveset for 5 minutes. Like she needs to kind of get into the crowd, let the crowd get into her. Like it needs to be a lot of shit going on for Jada Parker and Soruka. I think that was again, it was cool. I'd rather it had been a actual real surprise, like Kalani Jordan just took the belt from TNA. I'd rather it been like a TNA wrestler, like maybe like a Xia Lee, like somebody like that, like somebody that isn't of the NXT brand that could have came in, took the belt from Soruka, which I don't think she was gonna lose it regardless. I think she was gonna lose it to Laney Reed tonight, but to have Jada Parker come out and still not win the belt because Last Legend kind of did something. I guess, man. Like I said, all of this shit kind of felt like it was just leading into something else. I don't know who really takes the belt from Soroka. I don't know who takes. Laney Reed seems like it's going to be the choice, but she's supposedly injured. Okay, if that is the case, if that is truly the case, then okay. But yeah, I thought the match was cool for two women that are definitely the rising stars in NXT. Great match, just wrong title on the line. That's probably why I didn't really like it so much. Because again, like I said, 5 minutes is just not enough with Sol Ruka and Jada Parker. That's like just literally a fucking teaser. Like so, you just tease me with two of the best women that you have in NXT. Great, you just fucked around and teased me all night with this bullshit. Okay, great, awesome. 5 fucking minutes, really? Okay, cool. I guess. Yeah, this should have been a North American title match. Again, great decision to put Jada in it, but it's just like 5 minutes, bro. You could have gave this shit to Candice LeRae. You could have gave this shit to. There's a bunch of women you could have gave a chance to. That's you could have put a TNA woman on here, even though they're like I think in Canada right now. You could have put a AAA woman on here, bro. You could have used one of the women from NXT from WWE that ain't being used really properly on the main roster. Shit, you could have put B-Fab or fucking Meechin in this shit, and it would have made a little bit more sense. I would have been like, yeah. But putting Jada Parker in this situation, again, it sets up the story between her and Lash Legend. But again, it's just like you just wasted a fucking actual real match that a lot of people wanted to see, which is So Ruka and Jada Parker. And again, it's not a bad decision to do it. It's just the wrong title was on the line. I don't want to see So Ruka and Jada Parker for 5 minutes, bro. Like, if we gonna do this, let's do this shit. Don't play with me. Don't play with me, Shawn Michaels. Don't play with me. Like, no, I'm invested into this shit. You can't play with me for 5 minutes of So Ruka and Jada Parker. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. You can't do that. No, no, no. Look, 3.5 stars. 3.5 stars. Shout out to So Ruka, Jada Parker, and Lanny Reed. You know, Lash Legend, and you know, and Zarya. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, ah, the next match, I could have given it 5. I could have given it 5 stars. I gave it 4.5, and I'm gonna keep it at 4.5. That's JCJ versus Lola Vice. I gave this 4.5 stars. For the NXT Women's Championship. Um, Nothing's gonna rival Stephanie Vaquer and Io Sky from last Saturday. Nothing. They could have literally hit each other with fucking with every move in their chamber, and it still would never rival that match from last Saturday. With that being said, this was really good. With that being said, this was really good. Out of all of the women's matches, this was the second best women's match on the card. You should now know who's the first if you know what the match card was. This was good, man. It played perfectly into what it was. I thought Lola Vice and JC Jane, like I said, JC Jane has grown in so many leaps and bounds as a fucking wrestler. She went from being a actual sidekick to actually being a actual decent, a really good fucking champion. Like, she is killing in an NXT women's division that is that fucking stacked. She's actually the right person to have the belt. Like, it's crazy to say that. I know it sounds fucking beyond me to really physically say she is actually the right person to have the belt. She is the perfect person to have the NXT title, because whoever beats her, it's not only that you beat somebody that a lot of people probably just didn't think should win the belt. You're actually being a person that's actually earning a lot of respect if you actually think about it. This was a really good match. They gave them the proper time to get it over, which it took a minute. It definitely took a minute. I'm not gonna sit there and act like the crowd was just so into this match at the beginning. It took a minute. It took a minute. But once the crowd got into it, you could tell like the crowd was really into it. Did I think Lola Vice was gonna win this match? Not really. I know people on social media was like, Lola should have won this. No, she shouldn't. Lola's gonna move it up to the main roster, bro. And if you think she's not, you gotta be out your fucking mind. She is moving up to the main roster. She will be one of those women that moves up to the main roster. She will fit SmackDown like a fucking glove. It would be perfect. It makes sense, and it would be the right decision to do right now at this point in her career. She doesn't need the belt. Same thing with Jordan Grace that I'll talk about in a minute. She doesn't need a belt, bro. She could just move up. Like, it doesn't need to be all of that. She can easily go to go to SmackDown, where they need women like tomorrow. They need women in that SmackDown division. That shit is putrid. If she goes to SmackDown, she already got somebody over there that's clearly she knows very well, and Damian Priest. Like if she goes to SmackDown, she fits the women's division. She actually would fit automatically into that situation, because you don't have that many women in that position on SmackDown. And you can decide where you want to place her. If you feel like she's mid card, then her and Julia can have an amazing rivalry. If you feel like she's more, and this is the problem with WWE. Not every woman that comes from NXT needs to go to fucking Raw first. Put her ass on SmackDown and let's move the fuck on. Like, not everybody needs to go to Raw because even Julia went to Raw first. Roxanne and Stephanie all went to Raw first. It's like, bro, SmackDown has no one. Put our ass on SmackDown. It would pop the crowd. It would make sure people watch. And she would at least immediately make the fucking division worth watching. JC Jane keeps the belt. Now, Lola Vice did get screwed by somebody. This is why I said Laney Reed is supposedly injured because the move that took Lola Vice out, which kind of helped to win this match tonight, was a move Laney Reed uses when she wins matches. If you saw Tuesday against Candice LeRae, how she won the match against Candice LeRae was the same move that kind of took out Lola Vice in this goddamn night. So, and my thing is this: if she isn't hurt and you just took her out of the, and again, maybe it plays into the storyline of Jada and Lash. You had to figure out a way to get one of them on the card to, keep that storyline going between those two. But I can see if Laney Reed wasn't really hurt, and that's just the way you're playing a story right now of her joining Fatal Influence. I can see it. It would make sense, but I don't see the reasoning for why you would have her not be in the title match tonight. Again, like I said, like it makes the story of Jada and Lash Legend more. It stands out a little bit more, but it just that's a waste of a whole tournament, which you just had, by the way. You had literally a bunch of tournament matches, and then just for her to get hurt and then turn around and be, I don't think that's a good idea. I think that would be a stupid fucking thing to do for her to be the person to join Fatal Influence. Like, it'd be very stupid to do that. So who joins Fatal Influence? And that's the thing, right? Jasmine Nix is no longer a part of Fatal Influence. She's no longer a part of WWE. She has left. She decided not to. And I'll talk about that next. When I get back to I'll talk about that with rest of life this upcoming week. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. I think this match was good though. It was like I said, it took. I think when the times come out, this will probably be the longest match that they had on the card, which is crazy to say. But yeah, I thought it was the right winner. I'm not too bent out of shape. I thought JCJ was going to probably keep the belt. I didn't see the point of giving it to Lola Vice at this point. If you're because I'm starting to think like who the fuck beats. Here's something that people don't want to say. If Lola Vice would have won tonight, if Lola Vice would have won the belt, then Lola Vice would have became a transitional champion. Because eventually Blake Moreau is just gonna beat her and take the belt from her. And so it didn't make any sense to take the belt off of JC Jane just to eventually give it to a Blake Moreau at some point. So yeah, man, yeah, I think that's yeah, I thought this match was 4.5 stars. It wasn't a bad match. It was really good. Actually, like I said, like they gave them time to cook, get their momentum, push everything forward. So 4.5 stars. All right. I gave 3 matches 5 stars. Grade 3 matches 5 stars. Kicking off. It is Obafemi versus Ricky Saints for the NXT Championship. I gave this 5 stars. Ricky Saints is the new NXT champion. Let's get that shit out the way. Ricky Saints is the new NXT champion. It happened. It happened. I didn't think he could lift Obafemi up for the fucking his finisher, so that makes sense. I know people are gonna probably not like how it ended, how he ended up being champion. I kind of felt like, okay, so Sol Ruka didn't win. I mean, Sol Ruka didn't lose. JC Jane didn't lose, and Ethan Page didn't lose. That meant Oba was going to lose because there's no way in hell. If you know wrestling 101, not every fucking champion walks out of there as champion. Every champion walks out still champion. That's something went wrong. Something went completely wrong. Something has to trans. Something has to trans. So what's the point of having a PLE? Something has to move. If it wasn't going to be Ricky, it made no sense to have the belt still on Oba. Like, what if Ricky didn't beat Oba tonight? I don't know who the fuck beats Oba. You gave him Javon. You gave him Ricky. You've let him have fat matches against Trick Williams. There is no man on the main roster that even rivals somewhat of an ability to even go one-on-one with Oba and make it compelling. If it wasn't Ricky Saints, then it had to be. Then Oba's keeping the belt for forever, my nigga. Like, he's not even moving up with the. He gonna have to vacate the bitch. Like, that's how it felt. Like, if it wasn't Javon last pay per view, and it's now, and if he beat Ricky tonight, there was no other champion. There was no other challenger. Who the fuck was the challenger? You bring somebody from TNA? That was the only other choice. Go get Mike Santana and let Mike Santana wrestle him. Like, that was the only other choice. You already had the Moose match. Who else was it? Leon Slater? Like, it was no other opponent that could beat Obafemi. So it had to be Ricky. Did it make sense to do it tonight? Depends on how you look at it. Depends on how you look at it. I think it's a great idea. I thought it was a great situation. I think Ricky Saints deserved to win the belt. At some point, he was going to win the belt. But now that they also have created this, it is official that they are going to do TNA versus NXT Invasion. And it seems like they're going to have a Trick Williams versus Ricky Saints match again for both titles. I don't see how that even makes even. I know they said they're not going to have any outside interference. There's no way in hell that they're going to have Ricky Saints drop the fucking belt to fucking Trick Williams. It wouldn't make logical sense to do that if he just won the fucking belt. And then you have Bound for Glory the next that Saturday, which I will be covering. Though that Sunday is Bound for Glory, and Crown Jewel is that Saturday. So I don't see the point of doing something like that, having an invasion pay per view, just to have Trick Williams to drop the belt a couple days before he has to fight Mike Santana, where he's going to probably drop the fucking belt. And it's been leading to Trick and Mike Santana. I don't see Ricky Saints losing the belt to Trick Williams. That'd be very fucking stupid for him to drop the belt to Ricky Saints, to drop the belt to Trick Williams, just so Trick to go drop the belt to Mike Santana. I can I can see Trick then losing it back to Ricky Saints at Halloween Havoc, but why do all that work? Why do all that work? I can see it. I can definitely see it, but I just don't see why you would do all that work. Especially, one thing I will say is this: Obafemi is clearly moving the fuck up. I don't know where you put him. You can put him on Raw, which I can see it being on Raw. I can see him going to Raw. It would make listen. Raw needs a mid card like tomorrow. I know people think they have one. They don't. They don't have a mid card. Raw has no mid card. Penta, you got Penta, Rusev, Sheamus, AJ Styles. AJ has announced he's retiring, so he's going. Ilya's coming back at some point. They don't have a mid card because they have a dormant champion in Dominic Mysterio. Until they move Dominic Mysterio, get the belt off of Dominic Mysterio, that title means nothing. Oba's moving up to the main roster. I wouldn't mind seeing Oba going to SmackDown. I wouldn't mind it at all. SmackDown needs all the fucking help it can get. Raw's good. We don't need no more fucking people to go to Raw. Raw is good. Every fucking person that is not going to be on NXT moving forward needs to bring their ass to SmackDown. SmackDown needs young fucking people to even pump energy into that fucking show. That shit is a dead ass show. And if Oba is going to be on the main roster by the end of this year, his ass needs to go on SmackDown. He needs to, and I wouldn't mind him beating Sami Zayn and taking a belt from Sami Zayn. Why the fuck not? He clearly can defend any belt and have a great fucking match with anyone. Why not? For Ricky Saints, I hope they don't take this belt off of you and give it to Trick Williams just to then put the belt right back on you at Halloween Havoc. That's very fucking stupid. It's a waste of fucking time and it's a waste of fucking energy. Do I think it will be a somebody coming in? I can see Mike Santana screwing Trick Williams and costing a DQ again, but that's just that you just had a DQ. It's going to. It's, oh my God, they're going to do this, aren't they? They're literally going to do this shit, aren't they? They're going to take the belt off of Ricky Saints because they couldn't take the belt off of Oba because it wouldn't make logical sense. Mike Santana kind of screws Ricky Saints a little bit, and that's how Trick gets the belt from Ricky Saints. Oh my God, this is so stupid. I don't like that decision. I hate champion versus champion. I hate it. I hate it with a fucking passion when two belts are on the line because it's so stupid. It doesn't help anything. And that's my problem. Like, I can see the decision. I can see Mike Santana coming out and trying to help, try to screw Trick, but ends up screwing Ricky Saints. That's how Trick gets the belt. But you can't do that literally a week after he won the fucking belt. It doesn't make logical fucking sense to do that. That's just pretty much just saying you basically just took the belt over Femi because you knew Trick was never going to beat him. It just does not make fucking logical sense to do that. They're gonna do it. They're gonna fucking do that. I know they're gonna fucking do it, and I'm already preparing myself to see this stupid ass shit play out. I just don't like that. I fucking despise it. I like the Hardy Boys taking NXT titles because I just don't care about Dark State. Like I don't give a shit about Dark State. But even in that sense, because also on top of that, like you just made them and the Dudley Boys for their TNA titles. So why would you take the belts off of them just to then? I don't understand that. I think it'll be Dark State. I think Joe Hendry, some crazy shenanigans is going to happen, and that's how we're going to get the Hardy Boys with the NXT titles. Because Jeff just literally said, "I want the NXT titles." So yeah, but this match was great. I thought it was amazing. It's not too many bad matches. Obafemi has not really that many bad matches. Ricky Saints really has. Yeah, thought this match was amazing. 5 stars. Got two 5-star matches. Only one could be my match of the night, and that is my 5-star match. Just making its match of the night, but just isn't match of the night. And that's Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs. 5 stars. This was the opener of the PLE. I have said this. I said this literally on Wrestling Life. Go listen to it. I said it on that show. I'll say it again. Javon Evans is more of the future than Brian Breaker and Dominic Mysterio. Javon Evans is more of a main eventer than Javon Evans is more of a main eventer than Dominic Mysterio and Brian Breaker. I'll stand on that shit. Obafemi is more of a WrestleMania main eventer than Brian Breaker and and in a Dominic Mysterio. I say that shit again. I don't give a shit. You can force them two dudes all day. You can tell me how they're the future all fucking day. They have no character. They're boring as fuck. They have no story. And nobody cares about neither one of them outside of you only care about Dom because of his father and he's dating Liv. You don't care about Dominic Mysterio. He has no story that's even relatable. I've said this shit on that show. He has no story. And Brian Breaker is literally the most Scott Steiner Goldberg fucking wrestler I've ever seen in my life. Like he is Scott Steiner on the microphone, which is great, and to a point. And then he's Goldberg in a fucking ring. He has nothing else. He's a fucking spear. Nothing more, nothing less. It's a fucking spear. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Javon Evans, at least, you can feel that he's an underdog. Like you can feel like he shouldn't be in any of these matches. He's flashy, he's quick, but watching him fight Sammy Friday night and then turn around and fight Josh Briggs. Now he's gonna fight Leon Slater, which I am looking so goddamn forward to that match. he makes real actual people want to care about wrestling. I don't give a shit about Braun or Dominic Mysterio. Outside of their family legacy, there's nothing important about them. Nothing. Like I have said, and people again, like I say all the time, like people can get mad at that. I know people are going to get super mad at me saying that. There's nothing interesting about Braun Breaker or Dominic Mysterio. Not a fucking thing. But at least with Javon Evans, he makes you feel emotion. He makes you feel like, okay, this kid shouldn't be in the position that he's in, but he's fucking good. He sells. He can sell like a motherfucker. To be 21 years old and have the ability to do what he does in the ring. Now I know people are gonna say that, oh, you just like because he could jump all over the ring. Nigga, if that's the case, nigga Ricochet could jump all over the fucking ring. What the fuck does that mean? Ricochet has no I don't give a fuck about Ricochet. In the ring, he's incredible. On the microphone, he sucks. Javon Evans has that. Javon Evans has a Sami Zayn feel to him. And I don't mean like this new Sami Zayn. I mean like the old Sami Zayn, like the underdog from the underground Sami Zayn. I'm talking about like the original Sami Zayn in NXT. He kind of has like that energy. He has like that type of energy. Like Javon has that type of energy. Like where you kind of just like support him. You're like, man, this kid got something. He's an underdog. He shouldn't be in any of these matches. He could fucking go in the ring like, and actually on a microphone. I mean, he gets promo better. He can get better in the promo department, but that's what he's in NXT for. He's gonna be in NXT for at least a good 2-3 more years. I don't think you move him up to. I don't think you move him up. Until he's at least in his close to 24, like 24. He could be like 24. Like I don't think you move him up to 20 until he's at least 24. But and Josh Briggs is starting to become kind of like that Baron Corbin, JBL. Like you can slide him in and he can have great matches. He's a actual heel. You can feel that he's in heel. He has that ability. He's very dislikable, and that's good. Like and on top of that, he can fucking go in the ring. Like he kind of feels like what people wanted Baron Corbin to be for years. He feels like that. He feels like the lone wolf Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin could just never get over with the people. I think Josh Briggs, and I'm not saying Josh Briggs is gonna get over with the people, but he's a very unlikable heel. Like he's a very unlikable heel, and that's the good thing about him. And he could go in the fucking ring, like he could fucking wrestle. So I thought this match was fucking fantastic. I thought this was the best match they had. I thought of course, if you watched them in Tuesday, was it Tuesday or a couple of Tuesdays ago when they had that match? It was incredible then. So yeah, but 5 stars. Like I said, Javon Evans, I think is more of the future than Dom and Braun Breaker. I think that that kid is a fucking WrestleMania main event. I think if you could continuously build on his character, which he already has, he kind of feels like I said, like a Sami Zayn, an underdog from the underground kind of. He has like that old NXT black and gold feel, and I think people don't understand that he has like that old NXT black and gold feel. A lot of people might, like I say, a lot of people don't understand that shit. Yeah, he's got that old NXT black and gold feel. He's one of those wrestlers, like the Johnny Garganos, like the Rebel Heart Johnny Gargano, like Sami Zayn, the original Sami Zayn character. Like that's how I feel about Javon Evans. Like I don't feel that way about Braun Breaker or Dominic Mysterio. He has that. Again, like I say, he's gonna be like the NXT he's gonna be this version's Johnny Gargano, Sami Zayn, where you know how it feels when he wins a title, you're gonna be like, fuck yeah, he should have got that shit. You don't feel like that because you're gonna feel like we all won with this kid. My match of the night, though. My match of the night, 5 stars. It is Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace. 5 stars. Weaponized steel cage match. Both of these women don't need to be in NXT this goddamn long. Jordan Grace has been in NXT since what? June? But she came, no, she came back. She came like after the Royal Rumble because she was on Stand and Deliver. So she came in like February, January, February. Yeah, like February, March. Yeah, she's been in NXT. She's been in NXT for a good bit. And Blake Monroe just got there. I don't think neither one of these women need to be in NXT that goddamn long. I can see why you might keep Blake in NXT if she's going to win the women's title. If that's the next partner for JC Jane, I can see why you would keep her there. But outside of that, Jordan Grace, and Blake Monroe need to both move up to the main roster as fast and as quick as you can. SmackDown needs them ASAP. And you can keep that storyline going on SmackDown. You don't have to separate them. You can keep them on SmackDown doing the same fucking storyline. You can do the same storyline on SmackDown with Blake and Jordan Grace. They have history. It makes sense. I have said this numerous times. Jordan Grace needs to go to the main roster, WWE SmackDown, and immediately battle Julia. They already have history. They've had a really great match on NXT before. You automatically make that U.S. title actually stand the fuck out because you will give it what it needs, which is a fucking rivalry. It doesn't have a rivalry. It doesn't have a good one. You keep throwing Julia in these fucking nothing matches with fucking B-Fab and Mei Chin and same thing with Blake Monroe. Blake Monroe goes to fucking SmackDown. She would immediately become the number one star on fucking SmackDown. I just said this numerous times. SmackDown needs something that they cannot get, and that's star power. They don't have star power on SmackDown. Even Charlotte and Alexa Bliss can only do so much. They can't not do this. And what you saw last night also on SmackDown with this women's division is you literally just had Tiffany Stratton beat at least the two only women left that could even challenge her for the fucking title. I said this. I said this when this shit happened. I said one of the worst things you can have done is put the tag team titles on Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair and have no goal or no plan for them. Alexa Bliss should be battling Tiffany Stratton in a rivalry right the fuck now, and Charlotte should be going up against Julia. But since you don't want to do that dumbass shit, which is clearly what you should have done, you have too many women on NXT that's just there. And they're not moving forward. They're not gonna be NXT Women's Champion. We kind of know that's not gonna happen. So why are they there? Why are they there? And then on top of that, you got women from Evolve, like, a Callie Armstrong, who is going to move up. She's going to be on NXT at some point and be the one on NXT at some point. She's going to be a future NXT Women's Champion at some point. Like, Callie Armstrong is going to be an NXT Women's Champion at some point. So why do all this work? Why put all these women on one show when your other women's division, your main roster's women division, we got to watch that shit every Friday, and it has nothing. Matter of fact, the only time it got exciting last night is when Sol Ruka and Zarya got on TV and went up to Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. Outside of that, it was always a fucking time and energy. Like, it's fucking time and energy. Yeah, man. This match, I don't know, was great. These women, are amazing in the ring. I don't know how bad of an injury Jordan Grace really has with her hand, but if she really is hurt, then why waste all this time? Why do all this energy? Just let Blake Monroe go after JC Jane, put the belt on JC Jane, Blake Monroe, and when Jordan Grace comes back 100%, she can actually take the belt from her, and that's how you get that situation. But I don't see the point of having these two women in NXT if you're just gonna have them be there for no reason. Especially when you see a match like tonight, what these two women had. It's ridiculous to sit there and pretend like that they should be in fucking NXT still. That's ridiculous. All in all, man, NXT No Mercy was better than WrestlePalooza. I think we clearly know that. It was way better. Um, like I said, it's official. NXT is also going to have the invasion with TNA. It's going to happen. Um, NXT is going to have the invasion with TNA. October 7th. I'm debating if I'm going to do a rating review show on that. I might have to. I might have to. I don't know. I might just talk about it a week later. Of course, like I said, TNA has uh, Bound for Glory on October 12th, so I might talk about it actually just on that show. So, yeah. Oh no, man. This is the first rating review show I've done for NXT since I want to say Battleground. Yeah, been the first. It's been the first NXT rating review show I've done since like Battleground. I did not like that show at all. I thought they put that show together. They literally just did not put that show together in enough time. They just forced the fucking show on us. It was just like, what the fuck is this? And I ripped it to shreds, and a lot of people on TikTok did not like that. They did not like that. But it was true because it was just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like they gave Obafemi a title match literally 2 weeks before the fucking show. They had a battle royal and they gave us a title match 2 weeks before the show, and then it expected us to get excited for fucking Miles Bourne and Obafemi. Really? That's how we moving? And then they did the same shit at NXT. What was the NXT show they had? The fucking Great American Bash. Did the same shit. Like I said, when you actually plan out the whole shows and you give us enough content, and you give us story, like Ricky Saints and Obafemi tonight, they actually gave us a couple weeks of story. Great. Lola Vice and JC Jane, they gave us weeks of story. Great. Then you can put whatever the fuck on the card after that. And Blake Moreau and Jace and John Grace have been beefing since fucking Evolution. That's 3 matches right there that already have story. Done. Like I said, then you can put whatever else on the fucking card that your heart is content with. I don't give a shit. But your first 3 matches need to matter. We need story. We need to know why these are happening. The next 3, I don't give a shit about them. They can have nothing going on at all. But your main 3 storylines need to be something intriguing for me to care about it. There was times when they just threw shit on a card and you just sit there like, why the fuck am I even watching this shit? Why am I watching this shit? So yeah. But all in all, man, NXT. Continue doing what you're doing, man. Because you clearly are the only show on at WWE. Even if it's silly, it makes sense. Even if it's stupid, it makes sense. I can handle the stupidity if the booking actually makes sense. Ricky Saints winning tonight made sense because after Ricky Saints, there was nobody to beat Oba, no one. And now that we know that we're gonna have an NXT TNA invasion, they're gonna be Oba's literally lead Oba, Javon Evans. I know those are the 2 guys that's leading that team. Oba, Javon Evans are leading that team in. Ethan Page, I can see Ethan Page being on that team. And then the next, see, this is the problem with NXT's men's division. I don't know who you put on that team after those next 2. Because you're doing 5 as a traditional Survivor Series, and you're going to have Ricky Saints and Trick Williams fight for the TNA NXT title. So that immediately eliminates those 2. So after Oba, Javon, and Ethan Page, I don't know who you put on the men's division on the men's team. I guess you put Miles Bourne and fucking Tavion Heights. I personally wouldn't do that. I guess you could. I mean, I personally wouldn't fucking do that. But I guess. I mean, I guess on TNA side, it's Moose. Obviously, it's Matt Cardona. Moose is Matt Cardona. It's Cedric Alexander. I can see Cedric. I can see Mustafa Ali. You need some more power though, because Oba's a big fucking dude. You can't just eliminate Oba Femi. Well, that's Moose. That's what Moose is there for. Matt Cardona, Cedric Alexander, and Frank Kazarian. Now, by this time, is Joe Hendry? Joe Hendry's an interesting one. because Joe Hendry is technically TNA, but he's been very heavily featured on NXT. That's an interesting one. That can be the one that, you know what? I think actually Joe Hendry joins the NXT team. I know people are gonna say that and say, well, he's literally contracted to TNA. Yeah, but he's more featured on NXT right now. And I can see him, and his contract is coming up. So I can definitely see Joe Hendry being on NXT. I can see it. I can see it. I think it would that would actually make more sense. I think if Joe Hendry was to join the team, would join the NXT team. And it sounds fucking crazy. And that's how TNA gets their get back. Joe Hendry helps TNA, helps TNA. Joe Hendry helps TNA by screwing over NXT. Kind of like Kurt Angle did. Oh no, Stone Cold. Stone Cold screwed over WWE and joined the Invasion at the Invasion pay-per-view. People forget this. Stone Cold joined the WCW ECW alliance at Invasion. So if Joe Hendry is like, hey, I know I'm a TNA guy, but I'm really more so I'm coming to WWE. We already know this. I can see Joe Hendry actually joining TNA and screwing over TNA. And that's how NXT wins. For the women's side for women's side, I mean shit, NXT, take your pick. Fuck. Lola Vice. NXT, take your fucking pick. I mean, NXT can take their fucking pick. For TNA, the Iconics. Indy Hartwell. Hmm. TNA's a little different. I don't know about that one. That's gonna be a hard one. TNA's women's. But for NXT's women's, Lola Vice, Jada Parker. I know Kalani, even though she's the new TNA Knockout champion, I can see Kalani Jordan. Like I said, that's not enough. That NXT women's Last Legend. I can see Lola Vice, Jada Parker, Last Legend. Maybe Fatal Influence. That's the five. That's the five. I think that's the five. That's the five. That's the five. I don't really see anybody. I can see they probably do a double championship match again. What would be the point at this time? I can see it. I mean, it's an invasion angle. It's an invasion pay per view. I can see it. But JC Jane just literally won the TNA Women's Knockout title, and Kalani just won that title. Like, what would be the point? I don't see the point of doing that again. Like, so I don't know, man. That'd be an interesting one. I can see Kalani actually joining TNA and being because she's the new TNA champion, being a part of TNA's team just because she's the TNA champion. So I can see the inspiration. I said the iconics, the inspiration. I'm sorry, the inspiration joining the inspiration. Indy Hartwell, Kalani Jordan. That's four. I need a fifth. Oh shit, who the fifth person would be for Team TNA? Holy shit, who would the first? Oh, Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard. Tessa Blanchard. I think Tessa Blanchard would be the fifth person. Fuck it. I mean, at this moment, I don't know how much. I don't know if WWE is just like, hey, I don't know if this is a good idea to work with her. I don't know how long that would. I don't. There's gotta be some sense of understanding that she is going to probably be a part of this at some point. I can see Tessa Blanchard being a part of this. For NXT, Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe, Jada Parker, Lola Vice. Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe, Lola Vice. Wait, Jordan Grace, Blake Monroe, Lola Vice, Jada Parker, Last Legend. That's the five. For NXT, for TNA, the Inspiration, Inspiration. That's two right there. The Inspiration, Tessa Blanchard. That's three. I need two more. Indy Hartwell. That's four. And what is she calling her name? Herself now in TNA? I can't remember. Uh, fuck, I can't even remember her name now in TNA. But Jakara Jackson. I didn't remember of the TNA team. No Marsha, no Dana Brooke, who had to retire. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Oh, like, holy shit, that's gonna be good. Like I said, I just don't want WWE do no stupid shit like take the belt from Ricky Saints and give it to Trick just so Ricky Saints have to get the belt back at Hollywood Havoc. That'd be just so stupid. Like, what the fuck was the point of him beating over then? What was the point? I don't understand that. But anyway, yeah, No Mercy was good, man. If you want to watch wrestling this weekend, I would say No Mercy. Go watch it, man. That was a really good PLE. I will be back. Uh, got two PLEs in literally 24 hours of each other, and that is October 11th. It will be Crown Jewel. Now, Crown Jewel starts off at 7 a.m. in the morning, so you can kiss my ass. I ain't doing that shit. I ain't doing that shit. Hell no. So I will watch it. I gotta see what time LSU plays because I know they don't play next week. So I gotta see who they play October 11th. And I know the Saints play October 12th. I don't know who they play against October 12th. I can't even remember who they play October 12th. I don't even know. But yeah. But for the most part, yeah. So I'll be back next rating review show will be Crown Jewel. Crown Jewel W's Crown Jewel in Perth, Australia. The card is shaping up to be interesting. I will be talking about that card this weekend. Um, talk about the TNA NXT evasion situation and why the IWC has lost their goddamn minds in thinking that wrestling is good this year because it's not. Anyway, that is all. I am Brandon Janeau. This is Wrestling Life. Peace.